The United States government is offering you a piece of land of your own.
We have our own land.
No, it's not yours. It's the U.S. government's.
Did they buy it?
No.
Did they trade for it?
It's not like that.
Then how can they own it?
He has a point.
We will give you everything you need if you will just submit to living on a reservation.
We need nothing from you.
You can depend on your country to take care of you.
You are not my country.
Mr. Durant, if we could just...
Senator Crane has come here to offer your people a better way of life.
Better than what?
Better than what you have.
I like what I have.
Unless you're one of the first Americans, a Native American, you came from someplace else. Somebody brought you. The Irish, who left behind a land of famine. The Germans, who fled persecution. The Scandinavians, who arrived eager to pioneer out west. The Polish, the Russians, the Italians, the Chinese, the Japanese, the West Indians, the huddled masses who came through Ellis Island on one coast and Angel Island on the other. All those folks, before they were us, they were them. And when each new wave of immigrants arrived, they faced resistance from those who were already here. They faced hardship. They faced ridicule. But over time, as they went about their daily lives, as they earned a living, as they raised a family, as they built a community, as their kids went to school here, they did their part to build a nation. They were the Einsteins and the Carnegies, but they were also the millions of women and men whose names history may not remember, but whose actions helped make us who we are, who built this country hand by hand, brick by brick. They all came here knowing that what makes somebody an American is not just blood or birth, but allegiance to our founding principles and the faith in the idea that anyone from anywhere can write the next great chapter of our story. And that's still true today.
When we say no one is illegal on stolen land, we mean all of it, all of America. We are a continental people. We are the indigenous people of all of America, not just one nation, but all of America. Central and South American indigenous and mixed race indigenous people are the original people of these lands. American is a continent, not one country.
Yeah.
All of America, Canada, USA, Mexico, Central and South America is all native land. We are the indigenous people of all of America, not just one nation, but all.
Whether you like it or not, America doesn't belong to white people. It doesn't belong to black people either, or Christians, or immigrants, or any one group.
It belongs to all of us, built by all of us, fought for by all of us. So no, you don't get to decide who's real American.
Mexicans are Americans. Not American as in a passport, but American as in geography, history, and reality. America is not just a country. America is a continent. Anyone born on this land is American, period. Mexico is in North America. That makes Mexicans North Americans. Mexico is part of America, which by definition also makes Mexicans American. There is no debate there, only ignorance. Mexicans are also Latin Americans, and let's be honest, Mexico leads the Spanish-speaking world in culture, population, and influence. Now here's the part many people don't like to say out loud. Most Mexicans are indigenous to this continent, not as an opinion, by DNA. In many cases, more than 60% indigenous ancestry. Our roots are not recent. They didn't arrive on ships. They didn't cross an ocean. So, explain this. How do people whose ancestors came from Europe decide who belongs here? Deport Mexicans to where? To America, because Mexico is America. Our history on this continent did not start with a border. Borders came later. Our presence came first. Maybe that's why some people feel threatened, not because Mexicans are newcomers, but because we've been here for far too long to be erased.
Good morning, everybody. This is Van Silk, Common Sense with Van Silk. Another day, another episode, another topic. Seemed like I had to do this whole intro all over again because I deleted it because I was working on so many different segments. But today's conversation to the congregation, to the ALGA movement, that means America loves great Americans. We living in a time right now that I always say is dark days. What's going on in 2026, especially with the ICE agents roaming the streets, assaulting the citizens of this great country. A lot of people claim to be American, but you gotta understand something. Are you a true American? Are you a real American? Because remember, your ancestors migrated here to the United States of America. Europeans that became Americans. I am an American. I'm black, but I don't want to be labeled as a black American. I am an American, just like you are an American. Are you a Greek American? Are you a Norwegian American? Are you a Jewish American? Are you, you know what I'm saying? You don't get labeled, well, I'm a citizen of Mexico. I'm from Mexico, but I'm American, but you from Mexico. Oh, well, you know, it's sad that we gotta live in a world where those who family members were immigrants that came here to Ellis Island and want to take over the world. But just check out what some of the people, the indigenous people, how they say it, the Native Americans, it's their land. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Highlands. That's my new word. That's my new words. But check out what some of the people, I got different people's opinions. Nothing's going to be in order. But everybody want to claim to be a true American. I'm a true American. I love this country. I just don't love the things that's going on in this country. Because America, as a country, has not done anything to me or you. It's the people. It's the people that's in charge that make America look this way. This is Van Silk with Common Sense. I'll be back. Enjoy some of the clips, and we'll go back into, are you a true American?
I'm just an average American. But I'm an American. And some of the things I see in this country of ours make my blood boil. I see people with foreign accents making all the money. I see Negroes holding jobs that belong to me and you. Now I ask you, if we allow this thing to go on, what's going to become of us real Americans?
I've heard this kind of talk before, but I never expected to hear it in America.
We'll never be able to call this country our own until it's a country without. Without what? Yeah, without what? Without Negroes. Without alien foreigners. Without Catholics. Without Freemasons. You know these people.
What's wrong with the Masons? I'm a Mason. Hey, that fella's talking about me.
These are the people who are trying to take over our country. Now you know them. You know what they stand for. And it's up to you and me to fight them. Fight them and destroy them before they destroy us.
Before he said Masons, you were ready to agree with him.
Well, yes, but he was talking about, what about those other people?
But in this country, we have no other people. We are American people, all of us.
What about you? You aren't American, are you?
I was born in Hungary, but now I am an American citizen. And I have seen what this kind of talk can do. I saw it in Berlin.
What were you doing there?
I was a professor at the university. I heard the same words we have heard today. But I was a fool then. I thought these were crazy people, stupid fanatics. But unfortunately, it was not so. You see, they knew that they were not strong enough to conquer a unified country. So they split Germany into small groups. They used prejudice as a practical weapon to cripple the nation. Of course, that was not easy to do. They had to work hard to do it. You see, we human beings are not born with prejudices. Always they are made for us. Made by someone who wants something. Remember that when you hear this kind of talk. Somebody is going to get something out of it.
We're Americans. We say we're a family first nation, and what better way to show that than with active shooter drills starting in preschool?
We're Americans. We let drug lords, pharmaceutical companies advertise to our children because we'd rather have them hooked on drugs than hooked on phonics.
We're Americans. Our lawmakers are like NASCAR drivers. They're all sponsored by corporations. How else do you think bills are passed?
We're Americans. We'd rather subsidize massive corporations than basic human needs like healthcare or childcare. Come on, we're not socialists.
We're Americans. We've had 340 school shootings in the past year and absolutely no gun reform. Because adhering to an antiquated rule is more important than keeping our children safe.
Let me tell you this. America is the greatest country in the world. That's why everybody wants to come here. For the American dream. That's what everybody wanted in the beginning. That's what everybody wants now. I am a living example of the American dream. I came from no place, no mother, no father. Nobody in my family who believed in me. And this year, my show will go into syndication. Syndication. Which means George Lopez ain't going nowhere. And my family always told me that I would end up on the street. You're worthless, George, you're gonna end up on the street. You know what? They were right. I did end up on the street, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Thank you, America. Y viva la raza.
What culture do you consider yourself a part of?
I am Cherokee Native American, born here in Virginia. I have no African heritage whatsoever and no African relatives. I am all Cherokee Indian.
How come?
You probably are too.
Well, why do you say that?
Because the Indian is black, actually. It's the same people that Columbus met when he got off the boat. We are not African. This is Richmond, Virginia, where the first 20 slaves landed. There's no record of any other slaves landing here. Those 20 Africans that landed here were on a boat that was hijacked by Portuguese. The real black slaves here were Portuguese. Most of the slaves in this country were actually white, not black. My people owned slaves. We weren't slave owners. 96% of the southern slaves were owned by the 5 tribes of the Lakota. I am Cherokee, the largest of the 5 tribes.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
There are people that somehow think that they are more American than other people. That is probably one of the craziest notions, and I'll give you an example of why. My mother's family were original settlers. They came over, they eventually made their way to North Carolina and to the Outer Banks, predominantly in Manteo. Probably 150 years later, my dad's family came over from Hungary and Poland, and they came to the United States, and they ended up in Buffalo. Both sets of my family, both sides, my mother and father, are immigrants. They both came from another country and gained citizenship in the United States. Everyone, unless you're indigenous, is an immigrant. Your family came from somewhere else. America is not, being an American is not a race. It is not a color. It's not an ethnicity. It's not a religion. It's simply immigration and citizenship. And that's what makes us Americans. And it is the beauty of America. It is the strength of America, is all of these different people coming from all over the world to our country. Right now, it's about 1 million come every year and eventually become citizens. Citizenship's about 1 million a year. And it'll be that same this year. And that is our strength. And the majority of the people that come are, the United States benefits because of them. We do better, they contribute to our society, and they help us even be better than we are now. And it is the backbone of our country. So this Thursday is Thanksgiving. You should be thankful that not only do you live in America, but that one day your family, just like everybody else, immigrated to the United States.
Go to live in France, but you cannot become a Frenchman. You can go to live in Germany or Turkey or Japan, But you cannot become a German, a Turk, or Japanese. But anyone from any corner of the earth can come to live in America and become an American.
Africans were here before the Europeans. So what do you do with the heads in Mexico that you find at San Lorenzo, at Tres Zapotes? What do you do with those? You ignore them. What do you do with Columbus's diary that says the Africans know a way to the west, but it goes around the doldrums, we would never survive? What do you do with that? You ignore it. What do you do with Balboa's diary that says, we came upon this African village in the Isthmus? How did these Africans get here? What do you do with that? You ignore it. Why? To preserve the myth that the Europeans were here first.
This is America, the real America. We are the indigenous people of all the Americas, the real American. I represent Mexico. My people are the original people of these lands. I represent Guatemala, and my people were astronomers and mathematicians. We built the Mayan pyramids.
We are Mosquito Indians of Nicaragua. The hurricanes howled, yet we still sing. We are Americans.
Ecuador is the heartland of America. Our people built empires and ancient civilizations.
Uruguay, Paraguay, Argentina, and Brazil is also all America. I'm Guarani Indian and testify this to you.
I am Yanomami. From forest floor to sky canopy, we stand. We are the real American.
Before Argentina existed, before the Italians and the Spanish settled our land and exterminated us, we were already here.
Colombia still has indigenous people. From the Sierra to the Amazon, we endure. We are real Americans.
We carry the blood of the Inca kings. We carried the sun in stone. We are the true American.
Peru and all the Andes is also America. America is not a country.
Venezuela is also America. America has many corners and many people, and we are the indigenous of the land.
From the land of sacred volcanoes and the landscape that became El Salvador, the Nahuatl people still stand in the lands of Central America.
The Panama Canal split America in two. Our ancestors migrated between Panama and Colombia. Our people are more ancient than America's name. From Guyana, this is also America. Suriname and French Guiana is also America.
We are the original Hondurans. Our rivers remember our first footsteps. Abya is America. We are the original Argentinians. We still ride the pampas, unbroken. We are Americans.
I am the original Belizean, Mayan at heart and essence of these lands. We are indigenous. The Amazon is our mother, not your property.
You talk about too many immigrants here. When did you guys decide that number? Why did you sell us a dream? You made us spend our youth, our wealth in this country and gave us a dream. You don't owe us anything. We have worked hard for it. Then how can you as a vice president stand there and say that we have too many of them now and we are going to take them out to people who are here rightfully so by paying the money that you guys asked us? You gave us the path, and now how can you stop it and tell us we don't belong here anymore?
People are saying they don't understand because they don't want to understand. I've heard a woman here say go back to Africa. Somebody said we have a black holiday. What does that mean? So what does that mean? He did not say that. He said if we have a choice, what some of us can go and some of us can stay.
Just remember,
but there's no understanding in here. People are just trying to talk.
To those arrogant persons, you know, when you tell us go back, please remember where you came from. And when you want want to relegate somebody to a specific place, just remember what your origin is in this world. Please, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I want you to understand that you, wherever you are on the earth, you are not a native anywhere. You came there and took it from the native people who are there. So please don't talk about going back, because if others talk to you about that, where would you go?
There were no Indians here when Christopher Columbus got here. There were people from Africa who had been here for over 10,000 years before Christopher Columbus was born. It's time for us to teach our children the truth.
There's been a giant psyop against the black community, this victimhood put on them, that they all came here in a fucking boat, defeated and turned into slaves, right? When in reality, they discovered America and were here before a lot of people.
After you have shackled and enslaved a people, branded, castrated, lynched, burned, and tortured them, you called them 3/5 of a man, subspecies, an ape, a monkey, and a general inferior creation, how can we then admit that they are our teachers and the ones who gave us civilization? How can we admit that we descended from Greece and from Rome, and that Greece and Rome stole everything they knew from Egypt? The African origins of civilization, the African origins of Christianity, the African origins of science, the African origins of everything. Philosophy originated in Egypt. Math originated in Egypt. Theology originated in Egypt. Philosophy originated in Egypt. Letters originated in Egypt. Everything started there. They were as ancient to the Romans as the Romans now are to us. And that's what we don't really understand, because we live now. We don't really understand that the pyramids are 5,000 years old, and that the Romans only date back 2,500 years.
As you can see, a lot of people have their version of being an American. But what happened to being a real American? Forget about the politics, so I'm a Democrat, I'm an independent, or I'm this, or I'm that. Just being an American. True values. History books have been rewritten, changed. Education system don't want you to learn about another person's culture. You want to sit up here and rewrite history with everything that happened in this history. What is to make me to believe this is actually what really happened? As I live right now, in this modern day age, 53 years ago was a thing called hip hop, created. You got people right now, I'm alive, trying to rewrite the story that wasn't even around, trying to tell you what happened. But the same thing happened in history, same thing has happened to America. You know, some people are given equal opportunity. Some people had to come through in a different way and fashion. Government, supplements, slave trade, taking over land, rebuilding land, not doing the things. How you acquired the land? Who gave you the right to say this is my land? What happened to the 40 acres and a mule? Remember how big Mexico was in the whole southwest side of the United States. How many states that was really Mexico? That's why you have New Mexico on the map, because you're going to look at the regions and territories of Texas and Arizona and all that. All that was Mexico. How did they did it with the peace treaty? Let's just go back and think. When you look at the Caribbean islands and Puerto Rico is part of the United States. But we live in the time right now where people are conquering, dividing, and make America great again sounds like make America white again. How are we going to accomplish and maneuver around this mess is because people don't understand the decisions that they make that would affect all of us. Yes, you got illegal immigrants, illegally that come here, but they're trying to find a pathway to be here legally. But now you have people sitting down in D.C. with their own opinion, who were immigrants and migrated immigrants. Their family comes from another country, and you trying to dictate how and where and who should be here. You got a lot of great people in the last 30, 40 years that have came here and became model citizens. Now because of your accent, this is where we're going to right now in America, because of your accent. It's funny, with all the nationalities in America, only certain people are being targeted to ask if they're an American. You got people that were immigrants that came here are more American than the people that are here are American, committing more crimes. Just because you walk around draped in a flag, or you go to some kind of convention, or you think wearing an American flag, which you're desecrating the flag, you're not even supposed to hug the flag ain't supposed to touch the ground. Look at football games where the flags are on the ground. Look at Trump draped in a flag, hugging it. That's desecration. But nah, everything that goes on in this country is because you're not a ruler, you're not a dictator, you're not authoritarian. You can't be that. You're not that. You was voted in, and people are not doing their due diligence. This is democracy in this country. One truth of what you say can't be the actual truth. People don't look at common sense. I'm an American. I'm going to stand by being an American. And that's just the way it is. This is my country. I was born here. Okay? I don't hear that, or get on the boat in Africa and all that. Nah, because my descendants did not come from Africa, just to let you be known. But just to get back to more opinions of people who are Americans, you are entitled to your own opinion about being an American. Just because I don't look like you, don't make me not be an American. This is Van Silk with Common Sense. I'll be back. Enjoy, leave a comment, voice your opinion, because the world we live in today is not what America is about.
Where are you from?
Right here.
You're from New York City.
American Indian.
What advice you would give to younger generation right now?
You know, we've got some serious stuff going on with the world. When I was young, it was nuclear weapons were a big threat. Now, the world changes faster than Congress to make a decision. It's really up to the young people to partake and participate and get involved. It's their world.
America cannot tell the truth about herself. If the history of this country were written, you would have to say that this country is a nation of thieves. It began by stealing this country from the red man. If I said to you that Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492, you would say that's correct. But now here come this honky from Spain. There are already non-white people here, and they're not existing until he comes and discovers them. Ain't that all their heroes have been white. They make you bow down to George Washington as your hero. Did they ever tell you that that honky owned slaves? Did he ever tell you that? Yeah. Not only did he own slaves, he sold a black woman for a barrel of molasses, and he's supposed to be our hero. Our hero.
If you're in America, you should speak English. That's the language of this country. English is not the language of this country, nor the first. The United States has no official language, never has. If you're in America, you should speak English. That's the language of this country.
My ancestors spoke their language here for thousands of years before yours arrived. But English built America.
Second fact, German was the most widely spoken European language in America after English. German was taught in public American schools from the mid-1800s through World War I. Entire towns, courts, churches, and newspapers operated in German. But that wasn't a problem when it was your ancestors speaking it.
That doesn't change anything.
Then you deny the very ground beneath your feet. This land holds our treaties, our history. Third fact, most European settlers didn't speak English at all. English was often a second or third generation language. Fourth fact, The U.S. printed newspapers in German, Italian, and Polish for decades. No one called that un-American back then.
Yeah, Spanish is different.
Fifth fact, Spanish predates English in what is now the United States, before English ever arrived.
Still, citizenship should be earned.
Sixth fact, your ancestors didn't earn it either. They became American through jus soli, all of soil, not blood.
That law is being abused.
Seventh fact, that law was created to protect settlers, not natives. Europeans weren't indigenous. Jus soli was a law that allowed Europeans to colonize this nation and continent. Jus sanguinis, law of blood, makes you indigenous to Europe, not this land. Jus soli is the way your ancestors robbed their way in, so don't tell me you did not benefit from it.
My ancestors founded this country.
My ancestors didn't just found this country, we are this country. The Homestead Act of 1862 literally gave native lands to European settlers who had no U.S. citizenship, yet let me quote you the act. Any person who is the head of a family or who has arrived at the age of 21 years and is a citizen of the United States, or who shall have filed his declaration of intention to become such. That declaration of intention, not a citizen yet. It means your ancestors were not citizens or even did not have to speak English when our lands were given to them. That was legal back then. That was the law. Conveniently legal for you, perhaps, but profoundly unjust for my people. Morality supersedes your laws. Legal doesn't mean moral. Slavery was legal. Genocide was legal. Boarding schools were legal.
This country belongs to us. We set the rules.
You cannot throw away morality only when the law benefited you and not other non-white people.
So what's your argument? You are just anti-American.
Being American is more than just a slogan on a hat. It is about the stewardship of this land and respect for all who live here. America is the greatest country in the world, founded on freedom.
My people paid the price for you to call yourself an American.
English didn't make you American. Jus soli did. The Homestead Acts did. And native blood and land paid the price.